What's up guys, Krohun here bringing you another video. Yes, I am in person. If you would like to see me in person from now on, say in the comments. If you don't, and you'd rather go back to the old way where it's just a screen that just says Blizz Logic on it, also put that in the comments. It's basically me just testing this thing out. Basically, it's just so that if you just listen to the video and then you didn't actually care about the video content, which was basically just because it was Blizz Logic, you could still do that because it's just me talking, except for I'm here animating the screen. There's, you know, stuff I can do. You can feel my emotion and my anger in the video. And if you don't care about that, then you can still go back and do the old thing. So, you know, you have options now, kind of. If you'd rather just, you know, me not spending effort, because it is kind of more effort to sit in front of a camera. You know, I actually have to put a light on and sit. You know, my computer's all the way over there. I'm so far, and I have to think harder because I haven't got it all on the screen. But you have the point. You have the point. So, Blizz Logic. Now we're gonna go over something that Blizzard, right, decided on themselves. It wasn't me. I didn't explain. This is Blizzard's logic, right? So Blizzard say that there will be 0. That's a number, right? Blizz, that's a number, okay? I know it's hard for you to sometimes understand simple concepts, but 0 mandatory glyphs and talents, right? So there'd be 0, both things, both. So they'd be options. So you wouldn't have to pick one. If everyone decided they wanted to pick one, then that would be okay, right? But it wouldn't be any mandatory to be viable. So like, it's kind of like how warriors can be like, you know what, I want to play Dragon's Roar today. Now, it's not, you know, it's like, a lot of people would be like, yeah, but Shockwave is better, right? And it's like, yeah, but Shockwave does less damage, and, you know, it's a longer stun, but I want to play where I swiftly one-shot. And that's okay, that's an option, right? It's actually an option. People play Dragon's Roar a lot more in Battlegrounds and stuff like that. And they're more, you know, viable in Battlegrounds or rated Battlegrounds. And with the other end, you know, playing with Shockwave means they can stun people and just kill them in the stun. Okay? You know, they're options. Now, they also, you know, if your partner's going to stun and so you don't need Shockwave so much, it makes it more viable. But that's just a different topic. Completely different. We'll talk about Blizz Logic. Okay. So Blizzard say this, and they contradict themselves more so than ever, right? And we're going to give an example, and we're going to use a perfect example, and that is monks, right? Because monks, you could say like, oh, they're a new guy, you know, it's fine they make up mistakes. No, because that would be worse, right? Because they have these written rules, right? Long written rules, right? They you know, probably all over their whole company, just everywhere, every room's got like these, you know, glyphs and talents have to be options, not mandatory. You know, stuff like that has to be there. They have to have these, like, you know, a general consensus, a feeling around the whole company, right? You can't just, you know, one guy thinks that mages are overpowered, and then everyone else thinks they're really shit, and then, you know, that guy, you know, but then they go with them, make them more, you know, nerf them. The whole company, they go with that. So if they statement to the community one thing, then that thing is what is done, right? So, mandatory talents, gone. Mandatory glyphs, gone, right? There's no set talents. They wanted to break up the idea that you had a talent tree that everyone just put the same buttons in. One set for PvP, one set for PvE. They wanted to get rid of that. Now, we're going to look at monks because they had a flat, clean slate they could just build up off of. So they had no like, oh, well, we can't remove that, or we can't do this or that or the other, because everything they had to do from the start. They had options from the beginning. So, let's just look into the monk world, right? Glyphs. Touch of Death, mandatory, because you cannot use in PvP that ability, 3-chi, when you're trying to go for a kill. Because weirdly enough, 3-chi is quite a lot, because you tend to, when you're getting someone really low, because you have a full bar of chi when you've first trying to get your kill, right? So they're half-half, full bar of chi, full bar of energy as well. chi, energy, chi, energy. Right? So but they both go down. It's like, wow, it goes like chi, energy, chi goes back up, energy goes down more. And it keeps going to that until they're both about 0. And then they'll be about 10% health. And then you need to use Touch of Death. So you either wait to use 2 jabs, and then you can have the chi to use Touch of Death, so you just smash them, or you take the glyph, and you actually get the kill, instead of them getting healed to full. So, makes it mandatory in PvP. 100% mandatory, not even close. You will never see a Windwalker monk without that glyph, unless they just left a mental hospital, which is perfectly fine, because, you know, you can't have a go at someone for being mentally disabled, and that's fine, right? So Blizzard has to take that into account, because some people can barely do their ABCs and they play the game, as you've seen, as you know, and it's fine, right? Because, you know, they need to have fun too. So that's okay. That's okay that they do that, right? Similar story with Touch of Karma. So, I'm going to talk to you about Touch of Karma as if it's a completely different topic, because this is really ridiculous. So Touch of Karma is a spell, right? A spell, magical spell, that's melee ranged. Now, I want you to count now with me, and I'm going to go through the whole list. Melee range spells. Melee range, not like does a little AoE in front of you. Melee only, right? Now, we're going to do it, right? Ready? Steady? 1. Oh, it's only Touch of Karma? Yeah, okay. So why is there a glyph to increase the range, and why is it not baseline? The only spell. All right, I'll double this up for you, right? Now, we're gonna go over the list of spells that need an enemy you know, just in range, right? Actually, no, an enemy to be able to use your defensive. You need to see the enemy, right? So we're going to go over the list of spells. This is a defensive ability that you need to see the enemy to be able to use, right? Right, ready? 1. What? No, it's just 1. Touch of Karma. You say, what? It's like, it's if you imagine, like, this is basically what they've done, right? Let's say you got Paladin Bubbles, right? And they say, for you to be able to use this, somebody needs to be in melee range with you. That's an enemy. Fixed. Fixed. No? Oh, but this is Blizz Logic. I'm sorry, guys. This is Blizz Logic. You can't argue with Blizz Logic. This glyph should be mandatory. But here's a middle finger. Blizz Logic does not care for your sorrows or your angers. This is Blizz Logic. What do you mean you think this should be mandatory? No! This is Blizz Logic. No! Buff mages 20% increased damage. Fuck you all! Ha ha ha! What do you mean you're angry now? Oh, well, I'm sorry. We don't care as long as you keep playing. We really don't. Like, we're just gonna buff them more and we're saying something to do with PvE or crap, whatever. They're only the best in PvE? There was a boss they was doing low on, we just say it was something to do with that. It's fine. It's fine. They'll listen, don't worry, guys. Community love us. We just make a pretty mount and sell it to you instead. What? Like, they've left? Oh, that's what should happen. They've not left though, you're wrong. So there you go. That's Touch of Karma. The only melee range at baseline. And then the glyph increases it 20 yards. And it has to be able to use an enemy to actually use the ability. And that's a glyph to make it 20-yard range. Oh! The one half is bad enough on its own, right? Yeah. And then Oh, it's hot. This light is boiling. Then, move on to the final glyph, which is paralysis. Now, everyone else has this glyph, which removes dots, but we didn't have it to begin with because Blizzard just think it's funny to shaft monks in the new class. Shaft them. Seems they buffed DKs when they was first coming out. And they swiftly one-shot everybody. And then, you know, they nerfed them. And nerfed them again, and again, and again. And all the way through the expansion, they were still the best. They nerfed every patch. They were still the best, right up to the end. Oh. That's Blizz Logic though, I guess. So we move on. Like I said, paralysis. This glyph's for everyone, right? Now really, this is how things should work. Let's say polymorph, right? So you do a dot to a target that's polymorphed, right? And it's a small dot. You've landed a chaos bolt and then you decided to switch. Now it's on a polymorph target. Now that dot gets removed currently. Realistically, it shouldn't break the thing. It's not, that dot isn't going to kill them. It's 3 seconds or something like that, and it's just to add on some more damage on a target you're nuking without being burst. You know, they've got a chance to heal this damage. You know, they preemptively heal, you know, up a bit, and then that damage comes out, and it's not so big for them. Then it's not such a big impact in PvP. That's why they've recently done it. So you do damage to the sheep, and then the dot's on there, right? That dot doesn't need to get removed. It just do no damage while the target's sheeped, and then sheep would work fine, right? And then if you wanted to do more damage to them, you use a spell. So like, let's say Chaos Bolt or Shadow Bolt or Immolate or whatever, and you do damage and it breaks the sheep because you did damage. You actually chose to cast at the target after it'd been sheeped. I just fixed all of those, and you can remove the glyphs from everyone for the game. You can look at it any way you want. You will not find a problem with that logic for PvE or PvP. There will not be one system. The only problem you could potentially say is you're a warlock and you've dotted them up and somebody's being an asshat to you and sheeps the guy, and it just stops all your damage for a second. That's it. That's the biggest problem you could get. And then you just do one damage, one instant casting, and then it breaks it instantly and it's gone, and then sheep's gone, you know. And you could say, oh, but that guy wanted to get a sheep on that guy, but then at the same time that you wanted to do damage, and you've just got a conflict of interests. And that's kind of fine, because that already happens. Because I'll paralysis some guy when I'm on 10% health, and then somebody else will come over and be like, oh, is this a guy here, CC? Fuck it! Bang! And then he comes out of the CC and I die. And that happens all the time, and I hate the guy who's retarded enough to do that to me. You know, I have to die just so he can try and get a kill. And then I sit there and watch him, because, you know, I'm pissed off. I'm just sat there infuriated at how retarded he is. And then he dies anyway, and it's like, well, if you'd have waited for me to heal up, I would have had to kill a guy, and it'd be 2v1 instead of 1v1, and you're being a crap player, die. Instead, you just choose to suicide. And, that's fair enough, I guess, if you want to do that, but I really would rather we just killed the guy. You know, you tried to kill him. I guess it's just... You see my point, though. The game, it already exists in the game, so they wouldn't be making it worse or better in any way. And it's kind of hard to remove that element. It really is. That element is kind of hard to remove. So, you fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. I've talked to you about it. I know it's possible to do. I make video games myself. I've got that mechanic working in a game. So if I could do it, Blizzard could do it. They've got, well, 10 million a month in pounds. So what? At least $5 million. Or well, actually, no, it's more than that. It's like $15 million at least, I think. So unless they need to pay for me to come and do it for them. I mean, like, I suppose you could pay me $1 million. I'll come and fix that big, horrible problem. Oh my god. Just, it's sad, isn't it? It's sad. God. And then, that's the glyph slots. There was actually a point when we didn't have the paralysis glyph. That wasn't really fair either, though, was it? Everyone else had this glyph. It had already been proven to be mandatory. Kind of removed it from the idea of monks having it, though. Could go in for hours about paralysis as well, but I'm going to try and stick on topic. Talents. Whew. Now, similar story with the glyphs. Talents are in the same situation, and Jesus Christ, like pretty much everyone has at least one tier, but monks have pretty much every tier where there's not options throughout all three. It's like you have to take this. Like some warrior actually wrote a post saying that second wind's still going to get taken, blah blah blah, this that the other. You know, I was like, well, in a way. But the problem is because they don't have the rage effect, and then they took that and then removed it and then put it in as mandatory, and then the options actually come open, and it's like you've got some buttons to help your survivability, but people are probably still going to take second wind that aren't very good at the game, because you don't have to push a button to activate second wind, it just automatically kicks in. But the healing, you know, using it at 70%, yeah, it's good, like, you know, it works well. And so you know, I think a better players will probably end up taking that heal thing. And so, you know, there's always going to be that situation where idiots don't take certain talents because it's easier to take the one that just happens automatically, even if it is worse or only good at certain situations. Let's say you're playing against a team that stuns you to death, then yeah, it'd probably be better to take second wind. So you take it on certain comps, but if you're playing against a dot cleave, so you just need to heal more and as often as you can, then it'll be way better. And so I'm going to say you have options, and the one's going to be better in certain situations than ever. That's the options thing that Blizzard said about, which they took ages to fit in for warriors. And it should be hotfixed because, you know, they're aware of it, it should be in. Like, this is the thing I don't understand. Like, Blizzard are aware of things, don't put it in straight away. It's kind of like, you're aware your baby has meningitis, don't take them to get a jab. You're aware you've got chlamydia, you don't go to the doctor. You're aware that thing that looks like a chocolate bar is actually shit, you eat it anyway. Blizz Logic. Welcome to Blizz Logic. And so, I'm going to talk about a few of the talents for monks, and you can laugh away. Right, so you have Tier 1 for monks, right? Tiger's Lust, mandatory in PvP, can't take it anything else. Roll, I'd love to take it, doesn't remove roots. If it removed roots, just off you, not off your teammates, be really good, because then Tiger's Lust and it would be balanced against each other in a way. And you'd be like, how is it balanced against each other? Well, Tiger's Lust you could use on a teammate. Can't teammate roll or anything like that, so it would work really well. Same with the other story, on the one that gives you a speed boost when you roll. Now that would work really well. Like, at times it's like you would roll, and there's certain people that are pretty good at the game that know to dodge it, and if you roll removes roots, then you could go after them and it would be fine. Nope. So my suggestion would be to make Tiger's Lust mandatory, or add the remove roots mechanic to all of them, and then against teams where you need to speed boost partners a lot, where they need an extra defensive, Tiger's Lust works really well. And also you can still use it on yourself as a second roots removal. Well, a second one. It would only work as removal, but you could use it on yourself with a speed boost if your teammates didn't need it. Works really well. And then against teams just like mages and stuff, where you would need to get out of roots a lot, you could just use the roll, and then it'll get you out of the roots. Works fine. Not fixed though. Not at all. Here's another one for you, and goddamn Ghostcrawler knows this. He even tweeted about it. Chi Wave does 20% of your total damage. The other two don't do anywhere close. Mandatory for anyone that wants to do damage. Chi Wave also does more healing than the other two unless everyone's stacked up and Chi Burst wins. So that's, you know, options for Mistweaver in PvE. In PvP you kind of have to take Chi Wave because it's burstier. And it doesn't have a cast time. What the hell, Blizzard? What the hell? You know! 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 Good! They know, guys. They know, they don't care. They know, they don't care. There's worse things, though. This is a good way to get out of stress, by the way. If you want to make your own Blizz Logic video, put it as a video response. Everyone will ask, well, find it amazingly funny, but you gotta get angry. It just gets out all the stress. Like, shit stuff going on in your life, just get angry at a video game. Works so much better. Don't get angry at other people. It won't be good. It's not good. Getting angry at people, whether they're online or real life, not good. Getting angry at a camera and then having other people watch it and laugh at it, good. That's good. Okay? That's good anger. Only good anger, pretty much. Don't get angry at people, animals, anything else. Get angry at a thing. Anything you want. Record it. Don't do it at someone. Right? If Blizzard watches this, all they can really do is say, yeah, we fucked up. And we're stupid. And we can try harder. And I understand why you're angry. And you can understand that I'm not really pissed off at Blizzard. I'm pissed off at the decisions they're making. Which is fine, because I'm sure they're all nice people. Yeah? Yeah. There you go. I've gave you some good advice today. I feel like we've accomplished something, even though it's this Blizz Logic, where, you know, they do retarded things. I'll talk about the final tier on monks, and then I'm going to leave you. And that final tier is really important. Basically, what they've done is said, you know, everyone else's final tier is all really strong. It feels really good. You know, you play it, it feels nice. You know, we'd say it's in a good place, right? Now, as a monk, you'd laugh at how bad it is. Zuen breaks all CC, everything, or stuns and fears occasionally and hexes and stuff, because it dots everyone. It doesn't just do damage, it dots everyone. So even after he's gone, he's still pissing you off. And then, to make it worse, it's the only thing that does damage in that tier. The Rushing Jade Wind, 30% increased AoE damage and heals a little bit, if you're Mistweaver. Does a bit of damage, increases your spinning crane kick damage. So it's kind of good in PvE on an AoE heavy fight. Not very many of those though, because you need more than 3 at least to make it worth taking spinning crane kick to, you know, use it. And then it's still kind of better to use Zuen most of the time because he AoE dots everything, like I said. And then you have the final thing, which is Chi Torpedo. Now Chi Torpedo is good at healing if you're a healer, and it's shit of damage no matter which spec you are, and it also breaks all CC. Now all 3 of those are very heavily flawed in PvP and pretty, well, they're okay. Like healing, Chi Torpedo on a fight where everyone's stacked up, you can just Chi Torpedo down the middle and heals all of them. That's really good. Every other situation though, kind of, Chi Torpedo is crap at healing, but it's the only option you really have for healing. Rush Jade Wind, not really worth it at all. And also it makes you move further, so you Chi Torpedo, you move further a bit, that's kind of good. Yeah, there needs to be a glyph for a Chi Torpedo that removes the damage and then just makes the healing go up. So you can use it to get around, and then you've got an option over Zuen, and you probably always take it over Zuen because Zuen's crap. Zuen needs to do single target damage, or have an option, so like a glyph for Zuen. Single target, AoE, and then everyone takes single target and they realise how retarded the Blizzard is. Like Blizzard would be like, oh wait, we should have just done that in the first place. What the fuck was we thinking? How much pot have we smoked in the last day? Oh my god. I don't know if Blizzard smokes pot, don't, And, yeah, so you've got, those are our options. If you just look at just one thing from Warriors, so Avatar, increased damage, moves roots when you use it. That's really good. Why can't we just have Avatar? Because all the talents at each tier should be balanced, really. They was new, they kind of, like, this is the healing tier for shamans. They should be balanced against the healing tier for monks. And that against the healing tier for paladins and hunters and everyone. Because then everyone would be kind of, you could have something to compare against, and then it would all be different mechanics, but all you know, better in certain situations, yes, but overall they should be about the same, and then it would sit in a good place, you know, like movement and stuff, and you all have your own movement abilities, but increase them in different ways. And instead they just didn't bother, and they just made each person have an individual set of talents and then didn't balance them at all. I don't know, it's Blizz Logic though, I guess. Like, it's not hard to balance a lot of the stuff. Make sure nothing hits really big numbers so that people die instantly. And so they have a chance to use their cooldown, because there's global cooldown in between the spells. So if you can kill someone within 2 global cooldowns, unfair. Because they could be in a global cooldown when you use something on them, and then a global cooldown after, right? So I'd actually say it's probably worth 3. So they're using a global cooldown, they see that your CC's coming in, so a stun, right, or whatever, they predict it, right, so this is a good player though, right, they predict it, so it's 1 second, bam, they trinket, second, because global cooldown, and then they have the 3rd second use the stun thing, so that's 3, right, 3 seconds, with MS it's probably about 4, maybe 3.5, so if somebody dies in 3.5 seconds, that's not fair. You can do that right now, mages do it all the time. And that's if you have a trinket. That's if you have a trinket. Right, you should be able to live with somebody nuking the crap into you for about one person, about 8 seconds. I think that's about fair. 8 seconds. 1 person, 8 seconds. 2 people, 4 seconds, theoretically. With all the cooldowns up, that's about how much people's damage should do. And the reason for this is because you should be able to eat a stun and not die, because stuns are normally instant cast. Blizzard don't care about that though. Most people would, a paladin will trinket the first deep freeze, and then he will bubble the second deep freeze, and on the 3rd one he will die. Teammates peeling or not, because a mage does not cast. Because the healer stands max range and just dispels them, 40-yard range. That's fine, they're out of the way, and then the DPS have to get there to CC the healer, and then come back to CC the other guy, and if they haven't got CC on cooldown, there's 2 of them, one of them's polymorphed, and then if they trinket they get re-polymorphed, and then you have another guy that also uses like Cyclone or Fear or whatever they can do, and so the paladin actually has to eat 1 deep freeze, and they shouldn't be able to die, no matter what they do, you know, shouldn't be able to die. And also they have a counterspell straight out of that every time, so they kind of eat 8 seconds of CC. Not really fair. Blizz Logic though, remember, Blizz Logic, Paladins, Blizz Logic, they don't have anything they can just drop in between stuff either. Paladins is probably the main reason why they die. They're not like a shaman where you can just like, you know, chuck down a totem that eats a spell, stops some damage, enough that you can maybe live. You know, there's a few people that are pretty good at helping Paladins, like Shadow Priest, they can just powered shield, pom, renew. So they trinket, powered shield, and then they eat 1 spell's worth of damage, roughly, maybe, if they're lucky, and then, you know, they live. Though, like, it's kind of not really on. You have to play with 1 class. You also have life swap, so you get another, instead of trinket, you know, you have life swap. That's the thing. So you have to save trinket on a priest to life swap the paladin so you stay in. And so I just think, Blizz, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're not doing any work. What are you doing? If you've got a really good table tennis set up, a pool table in the office, or are you busy playing StarCraft? Just wondering, like, I want to know. Because I don't feel like you're doing work. And if you are, then it's probably too much on graphics and not enough on gameplay. Because gameplay is the most important things about games. We're not playing movie simulator or some shit like that where it's a movie, it's a game. And there isn't really much gameplay goodness getting put in the game. Secret, shh. Don't tell Blizzard. They'll get pissed off when you tell them their game's really falling down the share all the time. Good ideas, bad way of putting them out. Mages are overpowered, Blizz. And that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like the camera-ness, did really put it in the comments below. I really appreciate knowing whether you do or don't. If you didn't, also put that in the comments. Feel free to give us a thumbs up if you like Blizz Logic. Thumbs down if you don't. Would really appreciate it either way, because it lets me know how I should prioritise, and other people will be able to see and know whether to watch a video or not, and whatever else. It really does help though, either way. Feel free to favourite it, that does help too. Although I'm not going to tell you to favourite it if it wouldn't, you didn't really like the video, because that would be really retarded of you. And I'll see you again soon for another episode of Blizz Logic. When will it come? I don't know, because this is Blizz Logic. And, same as patches. Just should come now. Another episode should come now. Should be infinite episodes, really. Because there's enough stuff, really, isn't there? Like, let's just be honest. But this is Blizz Logic, so patch might come 10 years from now to fix mages. Don't know. It's Blizz Logic, so voila. See you again soon.